for joining the Some 180 Weekly Webcast, where we talk about real people's issues around their money and answer your questions. Tonight, we're talking about what are the priorities for saving for the future on a really tight family budget. Let's hear from Sherry, Some 180 community member.
If you have a large family, if you are just tight to the penny, what are the areas that are of highest priority for saving for the future?
That's a powerful and courageous question that many of us have. There are a number of things we can focus on. Probably first and foremost, make sure all the credit card debt is worked down to zero, because otherwise you're wasting a lot of money on interest. Also, it's really important that all the retirement accounts that you have are maxed as much as possible, because that's the best way to save for retirement, because it's being done on a pre-tax basis. What that means is for any accounts that you have through work, as well as any possible accounts you can have individually, like IRAs, that you're making the maximum contribution every year. But Sherry's question gives us an opening to talk about what may be the most prudent thing that she can do to plan for the future on a tight family budget. And that's to be sure that key priorities are covered if anything happens to her and her partner. That's done through having enough term life insurance. How much is enough? Enough to get the kids through college. Enough so that the surviving spouse can get back on their feet. And sometimes enough to make sure that any really heavy debts are not lingering. Every family has to decide how much is enough, but just to give a sense of it, for $500,000 in term life insurance, someone in their mid-30s would pay about $250 or $300 a year, and someone in their mid-40s would pay about $500 or $600 a year. A few last words on this. First of all, insurance companies sell a lot of products, and it gets confusing, but be confident that term life insurance is what you really need for these purposes. The second thing is that as you build your assets, you won't always need life insurance. When you don't need it anymore, cancel it. That's all we have time for tonight. Thanks for joining, and keep your comments and questions coming. Together, we're making dealing with your money simple and doable.